Good morning. May we request everyone to please stand for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty and ever-loving Father, our God of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we praise your unending presence in the evangelizing journey of Holy Cross of Davao College. We glorify your name for bringing into reality the mission and commitment of the school, to be your voice, your hands and feet, that enrich and guide every young person entrusted to our care. We honor your name for all the wonderful things you have made for us and through us.
Thank you, loving Father, for all your guidance. Thank you for empowering us to be a part of the evangelizing mission of the Church. Thank you for blessing us with gifted administrators, dedicated faculty members, personnel, and students. Thank you for the growth of our institution, the number of our graduates who help us spread your word, and the humble contributions we all have generously offered to our community through all these years.
We ask for your mercy for the times we fell short of our mission, and the grace to rise from them and to stand again with even stronger zeal. Help us transform our failings into lessons and learnings, so that, gifted with your grace and abiding presence, we may all arise and lead our institution to greater heights in service and in giving.
Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior on the cross, who today conquered death by your resurrection, we entrust to you our loving arms, the future of HCDC. Walk with us in our doubts and fears, and enlighten us as you did to your disciples at Emmaus, so that in all the challenges we face, we will see you walking along with us and enkindle the fire in our hearts to be ourselves the flame of hope for all we meet for years to come.
Among langit nun nga birheng inahan, o Santa Maria, nangamuyo kami sa imong inahanon nga paghigugma. Pinaagi sa imong panig-ignan ug pag-amuma, sa imong anak nga si Jesus kami mahigugma.
Uban kanimo kami nangamuyo sa gugma sa amahan kami mapuno. Sa ngalan ni Jesus kami nangalyuko, og sa Espiritu Santo kami nagaampo. Amen.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Davao, a melting pot of varied cultures and traditions, is home to a group of people who share a peaceful coexistence in the vast and rich lands of the region. The vast expansion and rapid growth happening in the region has made Davao as one of the most developed provinces in Mindanao and in the Philippines. However, this feat of modernization has its consequences and became a threat to the preservation and promotion of our history and cultural heritage. With the establishment of the Davao City Culture and Arts Council, the Holy Cross of Davao College wants also to embark on upholding the history, culture, and traditions of Davao region through the establishment of an institute solely dedicated to this purpose. Along with the vision and mission, from faith to truth, and upholding the values of servant leadership, dialogue, justice, peace, and integrity of creation, with wisdom as the underlying principle, the Holy Cross of Davao College created the Institute of Davao Studies, or IDS. The IDS is an institute established under the Center for Linkages, Internationalization, and Language Studies of Holy Cross of Davao College, dedicated to a mission in promoting the rich history of Davao and its cultural heritage through education, proper preservation, and research. IDS envisions to be the premier information hub for Davao-related studies and to form Davao region with citizens informed and proud of their history and culture. The IDS vision and mission is strengthened with its 4 pillars: heritage promotion, historic preservation, cultural relativism, and global integration. With these 4 pillars, the Institute will be able to achieve its goal in preserving and promoting Davao history and heritage. This year, IDS will strive hard and move forward in being the premier information hub in Davao region through its various activities such as webinars, historical research, and partnerships with government and non-government agencies. Join us as we embark this new journey of exploring, promoting, and preserving the rich history and culture of the Davaoenos. Tarabay, magkahiusata sa pag-amuma sa Davaoenyong kasaysayan, kultura o tradisyon.
Assalamualaikum! Maayong buntag kaninyong tanan! We welcome you all for this special and historic day, live here at Holy Cross of Davao College Cross Theater.
Magkahiusa ta sa pag-amuma sa Davaoenyong kasaysayan, kultura ug tradisyon. This is ang Paglusad, the launching of
The Institute of Davao Studies.
Today, we will witness a historic event as we embark on upholding the history, culture, and traditions of Davao region through the establishment of an institute solely dedicated to this purpose. I am Maki Okay.
It's an immense pleasure as well to be part of this momentous event as we aspire to form Davao region with citizens informed and proud of their history and culture. I am Jemima Kagoko.
At this moment, we would like also to acknowledge the presence of our guests on site and to those joining with us online via Zoom and through Facebook Live.
Indeed, Maki, and precisely, we'll get to know them all later. And let's inaugurate the program by calling the presence of the president of Holy Cross of Davao College, Brother Novic H. Deloria SC, for his opening remarks.
Greetings of peace to our honored guests, especially to our ever supportive Mr. Antonio Peralta of the European Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines, and to my beloved colleagues here at Holy Cross of Davao College. Thank you for being here. What a great joy indeed to celebrate ang Paglusad, the launching of the Institute of Davao Studies. When we thought of starting this institute sometime in October 2021, it was first a response to the diminishing number of students taking up history. In fact, if my information is right, Holy Cross of Davao College is the only school in the region that offers BA History. We can just close the program because of its diminishing number. But we all know how important it is to have historians in our midst to chronicle the life and soul of the place. And we are fortunate to have Mr. Antonio Figueroa, a writer historian who has written a good number of books on the Davao region, as well as on organizations, corporations in Davao. And that includes the writing of the 50 years of the Brothers of the Sacred Heart in Davao when we celebrated our Golden Jubilee in 2009. Then, as we have continued to meet almost every week now, we have been discovering more reasons to establish the Institute of Davao Studies, which the Executive Committee of Holy Cross of Davao College has approved. Last week, we had Mr. Antonio Figueroa and Brother Carl Gaspar, Redemptorist, to be our first resource persons to kick off our webinar series of Magstoryata. There's so much to talk about and celebrate about Davao. We hope that through this Institute of Davao Studies, cities and municipalities in the region and beyond will be encouraged to have historians, curators, researchers, librarians, to mention a few, to put up museums, libraries, and historical sites. We're truly glad that Tagum City has recently put up their museum. I've got to visit the place yet. Maki, we know, has a museum of their rich natural resources. Today, we are witnessing a milestone in the history of Holy Cross of Davao College and the Davao region. We have intentionally placed this launching of the Institute of Davao Studies in March, the month of Araw ng Davao. This is our humble contribution to honor the rich history and cultural tradition and heritage of Davao. We would like to thank the Linkages International Language Studies, led by Ms. Cheryl Ho Ordoneta, together with the focal person, Ms. Hazel Arozado, and our IDS team with focal person Lloyd Rees Lasia, together with our consultant, Mr. Antonio Figueroa. This team has made this launching a reality. This institute is about history, anthropology, tourism, agriculture, business and economics, about culture and tradition, faith and spirituality. This is about getting into the depths of our being as Davaoenyo in order to see better and propose better and emerging desired reality for our region and for our country and for the world. This is about building relationships and strengthening solidarity as Pope Francis urges us to do. We are still in the whole year celebration of the Catholic Church, the 500 years of Christianity in the Philippines, reminding ourselves that we are gifted to give. This launching is our gift to ourselves, to our region, to our country, to the world, and to our great Creator. Once again, thank you for honoring this occasion with your presence. God bless us all.
Thank you, Brother Noel Vic Deloria, SC, President of Holy Cross of Davao College, for your welcome remarks.
Talking about what this Institute of Davao Studies is all about, one of the features of IDS, or what we call it the Institute of Davao Studies, is to learn, discover, and knowing the roots of Davao region. And we are here to testify the essence of this institute.
Indeed, not only that, but also the cultures and traditions of the Davaoenos. It is common to us that Davao is represented with 11 tribes, home to exotic abundant fruits like durian, mangosteen, and pomelo, the famous Philippine eagle, and so much more.
Davao has a lot to offer, but undeniably, some of these features, especially their rare ethnic groups, are prone to extinction. Thus, one of the pursuits of the Institute of Davao Studies is to revive, discover, and explore the deep, rich, and vast history of Davao region. With this, may we call on the focal person of the Institute of Davao Studies, Mr. Rhys Lloyd Lasha, to give us a brief explanation of the Institute of Davao Studies.
Madayaw and welcome, Sir Lloyd Lasha.
Thank you very much, Sir Maki and Ma'am Jem. Brother Noel Vic, Dr. Fab, Sir Momo, and to all present here at the Cross Theater, welcome, maligayang pagdating, mayang pagabot ug madayaw na pagkani. Welcome to the IDS Launching. The Institute of Davao Studies is a new and growing institute established by the Holy Cross of Davao College this year. It started from a very simple idea of coming up with studying the history of Catholicism in Davao region. And as I have conversed with our consultant, Mr. Antonio Figueroa, I have discovered that this establishment of the IDS, or the Institute of Davao Studies, started 2 years ago. It was on July 2020 when our president, Brother Noel Vic, expressed his interest and support with the idea and making it more general by including everything about Davao region. The Holy Cross of Davao College seeks to create an institute dedicated to the preservation, promotion, and celebration of Davao's history, culture, and heritage. However, the idea was not yet put into action until the following year. On October 2021, when he and Mr. Antonio V. Figueroa, a longtime Davao historian, discussed it further and made the latter as the consultant of the newly established institute. And the same month, the Institute of Davao Studies is very pleased to have its meeting held at the Holy Cross of Davao College together with the pioneering members of the IDS committee. And I think they are all present here. First, we have our HEDC President, Brother Noel Vic Deloria, SC. We have Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Teresa P. Fabiania. Vice President for Operations, Mr. Romel F. Momo. Center for Research Head at that time was Dr. Estela Iray and was succeeded by Mr. Asisclo Abonado III. We have our Office of Student Affairs and Services Head, Mr. Kevin Paul C. Bonotan. The IDS Focal Person, yours truly, Mr. Riz Lloyd D. Lasha. IDS Consultant and Davao Historian, Mr. Antonio V. Figueroa. Center for Linkages, Internationalization, and Language Studies Head, Ms. Cheryl J. Ordaneta, and the representative of the Center of Social Communications, Alumni Linkages, Ms. Jemima Kagoko. These are the pioneering members of the IDS committee, and they were incredibly motivated when the HEDC Executive Board just approved the establishment of the Institute this year. We, the members, were excited to start already with our plans and projects in the Institute. Recently, last Monday, February 28th, we have conducted our first webinar under the Mag-Istorya Ka webinar series, which talked about historiography, heritage preservation, and local history among the local government units. This was the Institute's first successful event and will continue to provide more about Davao studies to the people within and outside Davao region. As the IDS is on its way to creating a name in the field of Davao studies, it is guided by its mission and vision, as well as its 4 pillars in the preservation and promotion of Davao's history, culture, and heritage. In parallel to HEDC's mission, from faith to truth, upholding the values of servant leadership, dialogue, justice, peace, and integrity of creation with wisdom as the underlying principle, the Institute of Davao Studies of the Holy Cross of Davao College has pledged to promote Davao's rich history and its cultural heritage through education, proper preservation, and research. As one of the leading Catholic educational institutions in the region, HCDC would extend its evangelization mission in the focus of studying Davao and imparting this knowledge to the community, particularly to the Davaoenos. Alongside the Institute's pledge in its vision to become the premier information hub for Davao-related studies and form Davao region with citizens informed and proud of their history and culture, we believe that as an educational institution, holistic formation of individuals also includes establishing deep roots with one's origin, culture, and tradition. As the ADS achieves its mission and vision, it is also strengthened with the pillars that serve as the foundation of what the Institute is all about. First, we have heritage promotion. The IDS will serve to be an institute dedicated in informing individuals on the history and culture of Davao region. Hence, the IDS will lead the promotion of Davao's heritage in order for our history and culture to be appreciated by the future generation. Second, historic preservation. The IDS will serve to be an institute dedicated in informing individuals on the history and culture of Davao region. And this will help us collect more sources and references to preserve the history of Davao region. Next, cultural relativism. Knowing that Davao region has one of the most diverse cultural groups in the Philippines, the IDS activities and actions exemplify cultural sensitivity to promote awareness of the diverse groups living in Davao. And lastly, we have global integration. IDS serves as the gateway of Davao region in connecting to people, institutions, and organizations within the region, within the Philippines, and around the world with regards to the promotion of Davao's history and culture. The Institute has taken its first step on its goal to preserve, promote, and celebrate Davao's history, culture, and heritage. Moreover, to become firmly established in the academe as a legitimate source of reference or studies related to Davao region, and to raise the level of awareness among the local population, the Institute of Davao Studies will do its best to promote everything about Davao. And with this, we hopefully translate this to the better appreciation and awareness of our cultural heritage. Once again, thank you very much and a pleasant morning to all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reese Lloyd Lasha, the focal person of the Institute of Davao Studies.
We also correlate the establishment of this institute with our local government sectors that the IDS collaborates in terms of heritage preservation. We all know that Davao region is composed of cities and municipalities that are rich in ethnicity, cultures, and tradition.
That's right, Jem. And last February 28th this year, the IDS initiated its first ever webinar series entitled Mag-Historieta, or which means Let's Talk, that tackles about the essence of historiography and heritage preservation and local history in local government units, or LGUs. It was actively attended by more than 200 individuals, not only here in Davao region, but also in different parts of the country.
As mentioned a while ago by Sir Reese Lloyd Lasha Macno, we have here the local historian, the Davao historian, and also the consultant of the Institute of Davao Studies live here in Cross Theater, Mr. Antonio V. Figueroa. Sir, may we request you to please stand for you to be recognized? Let's clap our hands for Mr. Antonio Figueroa and for being with us here today. And so much for that, Maki. Moving forward, let's hear the message of our guest speaker today, the Davao City Councilor Pilar C. Braga.
Romulo Valles, the Archbishop of Davao City, Brother Carl Gaspar, most respected Redemptorist historian, Holy Cross College of Davao President and Sacred Heart Brother Noel Vic Deloria, the members of the Diplomatic Corps, the distinguished city and provincial leaders and their representatives, heads of the different academic organizations and institutions, members of the media, the people behind the Institute of the Davao Studies, faculty and students of the Holy Cross College of Davao, ladies and gentlemen, a most wonderful day to everyone. For most part of my life as an educator, my passion for history has always been an enduring advocacy. I want to see the events of the past being discussed in proper light, As the daughter of the Davao's post-war governor, Gregorio Cañeda, I always admire the role he played in our region's wartime history. In fact, part of the interest I have in history I owe to him and his exploits. I strongly believe also that history defines our experiences and the personal narratives that go with it. To underscore my love for history and its significance in the city's development, I have introduced history-focused initiatives in the City Council, even at a time when the awareness of the subject was kind of passive. Now that there is an amazing interest in the discipline, the recent development in the City Council accents the enthusiasm everyone embraces in promoting history. I authored the ordinance requiring the teaching of Davao history in our schools. Beyond the ordinances about history, I have so far authored, with the help of my colleagues, I personally look forward to the day when more books about Davao region are written, new historians are discovered and trained, and more schools are offering history classes. The establishment of the Institute of Davao Studies, I am happy to say, is part of our collective search for historical meaning. Through the IDS and the various academic institutions will become the catalyst of this new journey. The consultants, for one, can be helpful in guiding the IDS in search for patrons and benefactors who can fund its Davao-oriented library, and in the challenge to find scholarship for those who want to enroll in history. As president of the Davao Historical Society and as member to look forward to forging an alliance with the Institute, and as chair of the Committee on Education, Science and Technology, Culture and Arts in the City Council, and as member of the Davao City College organization, I want to engage the services of the Institute as a vital part in writing of Davao's comprehensive history. Surely, this collaborative effort will redound to the good of our beloved city. Even more compelling is the fact that we have now an institute whose services can be key to finally realize the dream of seeing every Davao province or every Davao town, city, publishing its own history. That may sound like a lofty aspiration, but the regions with their historical narratives written and published have grown in number through the years. Finally, my best wishes to the Institute, whose establishment I am most pleased. May your endeavor be blessed, and may your mission be finally give face to public history, will rub on all of us. As we celebrate the 85th Araw ng Davao, the Institute could be a fitting gift to our beloved city. So, congratulations, thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you, Councilor Pilar C. Braga, for your message. Nowadays, everything is possible, from traditional face-to-face to hybrid setup, just like this one. We are able to reach out invites wherever they are in the world.
Indeed, Baki, truly, technology plays an important role, especially at these trying times. We now have Zoom conferences, Facebook streaming, and a lot of avenues to reach out. So much for that, Maki. We all know that history is not just about studying the past important events in the life of the humankind. Music and arts are relevant, especially in ethnic groups just like here in Davao region, for their spiritual and traditional aspects.
That is true, Jem. And with that, we are fortunate to be graced by one of the well-known performing artists here in Davao. They had also performed in other places abroad, bringing with them the pride of Davao ethnic music.
Ladies and gentlemen, live here at Cross Theater Stage, let's all welcome the Kaliwat Performing Artists Collective.
Daghang salamat sa pagpakita sa inyong talento, Kaliwat Performing Artists Collective.
You know, Maki, we are blessed today by our Creator for this wonderful day. Despite the challenges that we are facing because of the pandemic, we are honored by the presence of our school administrators and important guests here at our event. Let's acknowledge them one by one, starting with
Honorable Nur M. Harun, Consul General of Malaysia in Davao City, and Ms. Anna, Representative of Consul General of Malaysia in Davao City.
Mr. Tony Peralta, ECCP Chairman, Southern Mindanao Business Council.
Ms. Rizna Mendoza, ECCP staff.
Ms. Marestan Villaclaros from Macu LGU Tourism Officer, Davao de Oro.
Glyza Busalia Mamical, Tourism Staff, Mako LGU Davao de Oro.
And Ms. Amalia B. Cabusao from Davao Historical Society.
From the Holy Cross of Davao College, Brother Noel V. H. Deloria SC, our school president.
The Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Teresa P. Fabiania.
Mr. Romel F. Momo, Vice President for Operations.
The Finance Director, Ma'am Melanie Layage.
Ma'am Lorelai Sarayan Lavida, HR Head.
The Head of Social Communications and his team for the event production from Mr. Durf Mais.
Mr. Kevin Paul Bonotan, our Office of the Student Affairs Head.
Ms. Cheryl Jo Ordaneta, Head for Center for Linkages, Internationalization and Language Studies, concurrent Head of the Institute of Davao Studies.
Ms. Hazel Arosado, Focal Person, Center for Linkages, Internationalization and Language Studies.
Mr. Reese Lloyd Lasha, Focal Person, Institute of Davao Studies.
Mr. Asisco Abonado, Head, Center for Research of HCDC.
Mr. Hernante Polastico, Head from the Information and Communications Technology.
Our program heads from the School of Teacher Education, Dr. Lito Estrella.
From Bachelor of Arts, Dr. Estrella Iray.
From the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management Education, Ms. Ginaline Eterino.
Chef Raymond Binosa, the genius behind the event food preparation.
Mr. Gabriel Carlo and Lasra from the Tourism Management for the event setup and decoration.
Guest speakers, Councilor Braga, Brother Carl Gaspar.
And from our SC brothers, Brother Luke Brudot SC, Brother Richard Belanger, Brother Erwin Enopia, Brother Gisdado Mondihar SC, and Mr. Ronel Rubio.
Mr. Eduardo Fernandez from the Philippines Sports Commission.
Mr. Journey and Miss Iris, Religious Education Teachers.
Performers, Mr. Joey Ayala and Kaliwat Performing Artists Collective Incorporated, Bachelor Physical Education and Cross Fems.
Ushers from the Chatman Tourism Management Program, Richie Sermon, Sharon Nicole Galos, Feby Sacupayo, Arian Piamonte, and Eliza Mamoso.
The student assistants and the students from the different departments, starting off from the Bachelor of Arts, History and Chatme and Tourism Management, IDS, Social Communication, and LinkedIn and LS.
Thank you so much for your presence, dear guests and school administrators, for being part of this historic day as we inaugurate the Institute of Davao Studies.
We are looking forward for more research collaborations, fora, partnerships, and collective historical and heritage preservation ideas that will import and could really use of in this institute.
Moving forward, let's call again the presence of our focal person of IDS, Mr. Reese Lloyd Lasha, to deliver us the projects and plans of the Institute of Davao Studies.
And now we'll give the floor to Mr. Lloyd Lasha.
Thank you again, Sir Maki and Ma'am Jem. Once again, good morning. I'm very pleased to say that the Institute of Davao Studies has a lot in store this year, especially that it is now an officially established institute by the Holy Cross of Davao College. The IDS is very much eager to conduct a lot of plans and activities that would realize its mission and vision. But before we will proceed to what IDS will be conducting in the upcoming months, I will be presenting the Institute's goals, which we wish to achieve in the nearest time. The primary goal of the establishment of the IDS is to give due focus on key areas that are genuine and unique to the Davao region. The objective of this effort is to draw the lines of where Davao region begins and where it ends. Well, Davao region is part of Mindanao, it is not Mindanao. And we shall focus on Davao region most of the time. The IDS wants to have a unique distinction in studying Davao region, that it has specific feats on its history, culture, and tradition. Moreover, the Institute is established to serve as a historical hub of Davao region. It aims to be an institute that can be the source of historical references, particularly everything about Davao. It is important for us to revisit history and try to trace back the events and people which shaped the region. IDS wants to promote the education of local history, particularly Davao's history, especially to the younger generation. The Institute wants to emphasize the importance of history, local history, and the authenticity of historical reference, as this is important for the citizenship building and holistic formation of individuals. Another goal is to celebrate Davao for what it truly is. It is high time that the rest of the world sees the region for what it truly is. With this effort, the Holy Cross of Davao College, through the Institute of Davao Studies, can pave the way for a better appreciation of the region. This is important because it is the case that people think of Davao as Mindanao. The establishment of the Institute can give a clear picture on what Davao region is. This goal will be realized through our various Davao-themed activities and projects. Now on to IDS plans and projects. Our primary project in this institute is to establish a historical hub. Establishing the historical hub also includes establishment of an ecclesiastical research center with special focus on Christianity in the region and the development of interreligious dialogue. It was on this particular reason that the idea of the IDS started. The HGDC will still continue to include Catholic studies in the region and share its history of evangelization to the community. Next is to publish original works regarding the region's history, contributed or initiated by the Institute. The IDS will spearhead in creating original publications and also promoting works from local authors that are related to Davao studies. Under also with the historical hub is to conduct lecture series and seminars on local history with experts as guest speakers. As the face-to-face sessions are becoming a reality, the Institute will be conducting seminars and lectures concerning local histories of different cities, municipalities, and provinces in Davao region. Next is to institutionalize links with LGUs in preparation of town or cities' histories. We will be partnering with LGUs in publishing their local histories and disseminate them through different platforms and activities. Another is to create scholarship opportunities in partnership with LGUs, corporations, and foundations. We will be coordinating with LGUs and organizations, not just within Davao region, but also nationwide and internationally, with the help of our Center for Linkages and Language Studies, headed by Ms. Cheryl Organeta. Lastly, the HEDC will establish courses for history in both undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Knowing that the Holy Cross of Davao College has its BA History, the Institute will look forward to have specialization on history courses. Moreover, short certificate courses related to history will also be offered in the soonest time. Another goal of the Institute of Davao Studies is to create and establish a cultural hub aside from the historical hub. Here, It will showcase the work on the preservation and promotion of the literary traditions of Davao region, both written and oral. This will be done through various activities such as cultural shows, workshops, and other showcase of skills in partnership with the respective government agencies and non-government organizations. Also included here in the establishment of the Cultural Hub is the study and exploration of modern-day traditions in Davao as an enrichment to the traditional forms. Culture is not just about the culture of our ancestors, but also how it transitioned and adapted to the modern times. The Institute will explore these traditions and include it in our studies about Davao region. With those plans and projects, here are some activities that we wish to conduct in the following months. We have exposure and immersions, cultural dialogues and conversations, conventions, symposia and lecture series, research studies and publications, meets, competitions and tournaments, collaborative projects with partners and stakeholders. The next question would be, or a question might pop out, how can the IDS achieve all of these? There are three things that we will do. We will study, we will showcase, and we will preserve. We will have collection of studies specific to Davao region. And we will push through the creation of undergraduate and graduate studies focusing on Davao, either on language, literature, or maybe history. In Showcase, we will hold events that will present various areas of Davao studies, such as in musical, literary, culinary, sports, and art competitions. We will also promote Davao studies through social media and virtual platforms, and coordination with private and public sectors in promoting Davao studies. Last is to preserve. We will do preservation efforts through studies and research. And we will continue in the publication of works related to Davao studies. The Institute of Davao Studies has a long path to take in achieving all of this. But as we had a great start this year, we are very optimistic that our activities, plans, projects, goals, and objectives will be accomplished one at a time with the help of our stakeholders and soon-to-be partners and linkages. Davao is very rich of its history that dates back to the time of our ancestors centuries ago. It served as a melting pot of cultures of people from different walks of life. It has developed and progressed through time. However, fast innovation and modernization has threatened the deep appreciation of our origins. As Mahatma Gandhi quoted, a nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people. And we, in the Institute of Davao Studies, will work wholeheartedly to promote, preserve, and celebrate Davao's history, culture, and heritage. Let us all work together to strengthen our roots and to remember our history, not just for us, but for the Davaoenos of the past, the present, and future generations. Daghang salamat ug maayong buntag sa tanan.
Thank you again, Mr. Lloyd Lasha, for your presentation.
And of course, we would like to acknowledge some of our school administrators from Mr. Jevi Villa Abrilia of our accountancy, Ms. Lori Balosinar, the program head of School of Business and Management Education, Dr. Edroslin Fernandez from our graduate school, Mr. Gerson Trosho from the program head of our psychology, and second mate Isaac Salvania, the program head of College of Maritime Education. Moving on to our next guest speaker is from the Legal Consultant Office of the Administrator and Board Secretary, Board of Administrator of the Department of Tourism, all the way from Intramuros, Manila. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rodrigo S. Magat.
Magandang umaga at isang mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat. Malugod na pagbati po sa mga pamunuan at pamayanan ng Holy Cross of Davao College sa paglulunsad nito ng Surian ng Pag-aaralan Davao o Institute of Davao Studies na maging premyadong daluyan ng pag-aaral tungkol sa rehiyon ng Davao at makilala sa larangan ng pagsusuri sa ating bansa at maging sa buong mundo. On behalf of the Intramuros Administration, an attached agency of the Department of Tourism, and the one responsible for the orderly restoration and development of Intramuros, we welcome the Institute of Davao Studies as an additional specialized information center or avenue of knowledge of innovative and transformative roles and ideas in the fields of Davao's colorful arts, vibrant culture, valuable history, and heritage studies. We also welcome the opportunity to partner and co-create activities with the Institute of Davao Studies in our collective effort to develop information, activities, programs, or projects centered on our shared mission and social responsibility of preserving, developing, and perpetuating the Filipino heritage and the enhancement of our national identity that is in line with your institution's vision and mission, that is to be an evangelizers, educated in the faith and animated by the passion for truth, justice, peace, and service. Tunay nga pong isang kagiliw-giliw na matunghayan ng isang mahalagang pangyayari sa kasaysayan ng Holy Cross of Davao College at kami po sa pangasiwaan ng Intramuros ay malugod na bumabati sa inyong tagumpay at kaisa nyo kami sa pagsasakatuparan ng inyong mga plano at mga
Thank you so much, Mr. Rodrigo Magat.
Truly, life is here in Davao. We have a lot of talented artists and performers here in our region. One of such is a top performer, a well-known Filipino singer-songwriter, the former chairman of the Music Committee of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, and a Dato Bago awardee.
He is famous for his style of music that combines the sound of Filipino ethnic instruments with modern pop music. He prepared special songs for us for this special event. A proud Mindanaoan, the pride of Davao, and one of the gems in Philippine music. Ladies and gentlemen, let's watch the performance of Mr. Joey C. Ayala.
First time kong na-meet ang Agila, elementary pa ako, sa labas ng Ateneo de Manila canteen sa grade school. May hawla dyan na may Philippine Eagle. Ang karatula pa noon, monkey eating eagle. So yun yung first close-up encounter ko ng Philippine Eagle. Nung adult na ako, trabaho ko manunulat sa Davao. Isang assignment ko is interviewin yung nagtatayo ng Philippine Eagle Foundation. So, in-interview ko yung mga founders. And one particular founder, an ornithologist, si Ron Krupa. Kinunto niya sa akin ang agila ay isang barometer species. Ito is the first time na narinig ko yung term na yan, barometer species. Kasi para siyang barometro. No? Pag nandyan siya, palatandaan siya ng kalusugan ng sistemang umaalalay sa kanyang buhay. Kasi ang agila, madami kinakain niya na maliliit na hayop. So, you need a certain amount of square kilometers of forest to produce the food that keeps an eagle alive. So, ang eagle, in effect, ay parang gubat na lumilipad. Pag nakakita ka ng agila, isipin mo kaagad na yung bumubuhay sa kanya, nandyan pa. Gubat, o kaya dagat na maraming isda. Kaya yung mga mangingisda, pag nakakita sila ng malaking ibon sa ibabaw ng tubig, alam nilang may isda dyan sa ilalim ng ibon. Yan ang isa sa mga palatandaan. No? Barometer species. Ito po, agila. Nais kong lumipad tulad ng agila at lumutang-lutang sa hangin, magkaroon ng pugad sa puso ng kagubatan. Ngunit ito ay panaginip lang at maaaring di matupad. Pagkat ang kagubatan ay nawawala, mga puno nito'y nangingibang bayan. At pag walang puno, wala na ring mapupugaran. Kapag ang agila'y walang pugad, wala na siyang dahilang lumipad. O Haring Ibon, Hari kong tunay, nais kong tumulong ng kaharian mo'y muling mabuhay. Nais mong makakita ng agila, huwag kang tumingala at tumitig sa langit. Pagkat ang mga agila nitong ating bayan, ang iba'y nabihag na, ang natitira'y bihirang magpakita. Tiniklop na nila ang kanilang mga pakpak, hinubad na nila ang kanilang mga plumahe. Sila'y nagsipagtago sa natitirang gubat, ang lahi ba nila'y tuluyan ng mawawala. Haring Ibon, Hari kong tunay, nais kong tumulong ng kaharian mo'y muling mabuhay. Haring Ibon, Hari kong tunay, ang kaharian mo'y muling mabuhay. Ito ang isa sa mga pinakasikat na sinulat ni Dr. Jose Rizal at tinuturing nating National Hero of the Philippines. Mi ultimo adios, mi ultimo adios. Adios, patria adorada, región del sol querida, perla del mar de oriente, nuestro perdido Edén. Sa'yo tong aking buhay, puno ng kalungkutan, ngunit kung maging mas brilyante, mas freska, mas florida, sa iyo pa rin nialay sa iyong kapakanan. Sa parang ng digmaan, puno ng kabaliwan, kay rami ng nag-alay, walang pagtatalwa. San panay di importante, Casipres, laurel o lirio, bitayan o kabukiran, kombate o cruel martiryo, ito ay isa lamang sa bayan sinilangan. Ang aking kamatayay sabay ng mga kulay ng langit sa umagang papawi sa gabi. At kung sakasakaling pulay kailanganin, aking dugo'y gamitin sa tamang panahon. Idorela un reflejo de su naciente luz. Mi patria idolatrada, dolor de mis dolores, querida Filipinas, paalam ko'y dinggin. Ako ngayon'y patungo, mis padres, mis amores, kung saan walang alipin, verdugos ni opresores, donde la fe no mata, kung saan naghahari ang Diyos. Adios, padres y hermanos, bahagi ng aking puso. Paalam mga kababata, sa ating tahanang sawi. Salamat at lilisanin, araw ng suliranin. Adios dulce extranjera, mi amiga, aking ligaya. Adios mga ginigiliw, ako
Thank you so much for that heartfelt performance, Mr. Joey Ayala.
And for that, we'd also like to acknowledge the presence of the LGU Davao through Museo Davaoenyo, represented also by Ms. Winnie Bulig, the Museo Davaoenyo head, and of course, the local government unit of Davao City. You know what, Maki? IDS is composed of great individuals that are linked not only in academe, but in other aspects as well. As mentioned, for example, we have Mr. Tony Figueroa, our consultant and Davao historian. Of course, Brother Noel Vic Deloria, our president. The energetic head from the Center for Linkages, Internationalization and Language Studies, Ms. Cheryl Urdaneta. And of course, our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Teresa Fabiana, the Center for Research Head, Mr. Asisco Abonado III, Sir Reese Lasha, the focal person of IDS, and supported also by our programs of history and philosophy under the banner of our Bachelor of Arts program.
Truly, as explained by Sir Lloyd Lasha, that IDS is the information and repository hub of all Davao-related studies. We have also a number of interested local historians who support the vision and mission of IDS and are willing to partner with us in IDS.
Very interesting to know that Maki, and speaking of historians and such, IDS is honored to receive a support from one of the historian anthropologists. And for us to know him this time, let us listen to the message from the brilliant and prolific historian, an anthropologist, researcher, and a missionary brother of the Redemptorist congregation in Davao City. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to the one and only Brother Carl M. Gaspar.
Hello, kaninyong tanan, Madayaw Davao. Good day to all of you. I am Carl Gaspar. I am a Redemptorist brother assigned here at the St. Alphonsus Theological and Mission Institute in front of the Brisa Mall along GP Laurel. Sometime last year, Brother Noel Vic Deloria, the president of HCDC, sent me the concept paper on the Institute of Davao Studies. While reading it, I was very excited about the concept. And I immediately replied to Brother Noel Vic saying, this is a wonderful idea. And thank you very much for making me aware that this thing is happening, because all this while also I've been really wondering how come we here in Davao City, we have not been able to come up with this kind of an institute, considering that not just Davao City, but the entire Davao region is a very vigorous region of Mindanao. So when I heard about this plan, I really was very enthused. And I even told Brother Noy if there was anything I could do to help, I would. Because through the years, I've been very much interested in the history, culture, and the heritage of the people across the Davao region. And in fact, I have done some research studies and published some articles and materials, and I have done academic papers. I've also written a few novels, and of course the setting is primarily here in Davao. So, ladies and gentlemen, certainly this is an institute we need to look forward to, and in whatever way we can support it, we should, because it would be so nice that this is not just an activity of the school, but eventually it is the school that serves as the central office that gather together the participation of local government units, other academic institutions, other civil society organizations like NGOs, the parishes, because the school is of course owned by the Archdiocese of Davao, because there's so much data out there, but you need to sort of gather them together and then provide a venue through which there can be fora, conferences, and of course that this can be documented, and the writers, authors can come up with books and novels, and filmmakers can have films about Davao, and cultural workers can have plays and music and songs. So this is why I'm so excited about the Institute of Davao Studies, and I'm glad that it's already been launched and there are already a series of activities that the staff are planning, and this is why I am recording this so that this can be incorporated in a future event. So what do I think are the priorities that the Institute of Davao Studies should look into? Number one, of course, are historical narratives, because there's still so much of the Davao history that has not been written yet. Of course, there are a few books already, or even articles written about Davao history. Perhaps the most popular is the one authored by Macario Chu and Tony Figueroa have already done some studies in this field. But apart from history, there have also been ethnographic studies like the one that Jaime Gloria did on the Bagubo Davao. And naturally, today in the field of history and sociology and anthropology, post-structural theories are already pushing us to be more localized, because the view from the local, the view from the periphery, as it's already being said, are as important as those coming from the center. And we cannot, of course, rely only on the center, especially Metro Manila, because they're so far away from where we are. So we in Davao, as we're connected to Mindanao, should really articulate this for a global audience, because I'm sure there are a lot more people now interested in knowing more about Davao across the various fields, philosophy and arts and literature and visual arts and all others. So hopefully in the coming months and years, of course, according to some of the projected plans, there will be a number of activities that will be planned, and I'm sure through social media or other means, the Institute will be able to communicate this to us and make sure that you will be updated, because I'm sure there's a lot of interest out there, not just among historians and anthropologists and those in the academy, but today I can assume that there are already more and more Davaoenos that would like to have some reading materials, some visual materials that will get them in touch with this region, because this region has a very rich history. Recently, I was invited by the LGU of Davao de Oro to speak during their Bahandi Festival. And I was very much impressed by the fact that the local government is very interested to really pursue a research, and they might eventually also get involved in getting the schools in the different towns of the province to be involved in research and connect to their interest to perhaps have some kind of a museum. If you go to Davao City now, they have a wonderful historical and cultural center of the city, and that to me is really a model of what the other cities across the region and even big towns can establish. But that cannot be done unless, of course, they have the data, the historical data, narratives, the ethnographic data, the artifacts that you would exhibit in such centers. So what I'm also very interested in what the Institute of Davao Studies can do, and I think they're also planning for that, is that they can put up a physical center that can be some kind of a library, a data bank, museum rolled into one. And this is a challenge for ECDC, that within its premises it might be able to set aside a space in which the center can really have a physical presence, so that researchers and teachers and students and NGO workers and even government bureaucrats have a place where in one setting they have the data that they need if they're going to produce video clippings or write articles and do research. One other thing, and this I spoke during my keynote speech at the 60th anniversary of the Davao Association of Colleges and Schools. I also said there that the Institute of Davao Studies would provide an encouragement for students and teachers to really get engaged in field research, in going out there and gather data. Of course, there's also library research because there's really a lot of materials out there, including unwritten documents. And if we can mobilize the different social science subjects from even senior high all the way to the tertiary level, up to the graduate level, for students who have the capacity and the interest to do research and have the talent to write or even make films, then the term papers that they will be asked to write, and even if this is in the form of a short story or a novel or a film, that these are produced on the basis of the data that are collected during the research. So therefore, it's very important that we prepare the next generation of students to be able to learn research skills and really do rigorous research, how to do field work, how to do good interviews, how to document your data. And then, of course, you need also workshops in terms of creative writing. How do you write historical fiction? How do you write academic papers? And it can be a whole range because it really depends on your audience. If your audience are the academic, the intellectuals, they will tend to be academic papers. But if you want a broader audience, they may have to be in the form of short story and novels, and even more, if this can be like short films or feature films, and even somehow showcased as visual arts, and even the writing of songs and have music based, say, on indigenous peoples, because something about Davao is the multi-language, multi-ethnic, multicultural reality. We have a number of Lumal communities and Moro communities. You know this when you have a Kadayawan every year in Davao City. So here are the great possibilities for the Institute of Davao Studies. And I'm really glad that it's already begun. It's been launched, and there's really a drive on the part of Brother Noel Vic and his staff to really get into the act. And hopefully there will be funds that can be mobilized for this particular purpose. So that's what I really wanted to say. Daghang salamat. Thank you very much, everyone.
Our utmost thanks to Brother Carl Gaspar for sharing with us your insights about Davao history and related studies. This is truly a significant day for the great beginning of the Institute of Davao Studies.
As the Institute will forward to its ideals, we welcome each and everyone to witness the development of this successful convention focusing on Davao studies.
As we formally end this momentous event, may we call on the Holy Cross of Davao College Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Teresa P. Fabiania, on stage for her closing remarks.
Distinguished guests, school administrators, academic and office heads, faculty, and staff. Thank you for your presence this morning to launch the HDC Institute of Davao Studies, ang Paglusad. This is a special moment for us Holy Crossians. Dreams do not come true very often. Today, some dreams came true. And to quote, "There's a way when there's a will." The Institute of Davao Studies, or IDS, is created parallel to HDC's mission and vision. The IDS will focus and serve with the genuine and unique activities in the Davao region. This will serve as a historical hub in the region to raise awareness among the local population, especially the students, to appreciate our cultural heritage, preserve our local history, and showcase the beauty and uniqueness of Davao. To make this happen and successful, IDS needs everyone's support. We need to work together for the success of IDS mission and vision. And we are determined to achieve the mission to preserve, promote, and celebrate Davo's rich history and cultural heritage. Our vision is to make this IDS the premier information hub for Davao-related studies. We need your continued support from now and beyond. Holy Cross of Davao College is fortunate to have these committed and hardworking employees in the IDS team for the success of the first webinar and now the launching of this Institute of Davao Studies. Thank you for the tremendous work that you have done. A special word of thanks goes also to the following persons: HDC President Brother Noel Bikich Deloria for the guidance and inspiration for the establishment of IDS. HDC Board of Trustees and members of the President Council, Mr. Romel Momo, our VP for Operations, Ms. Melanie Layage, our Finance Manager, for their unwavering support. Ms. Cheryl Ordaneta, the head of the Center for Linkages, Internationalization, and Language Studies. Focal person, Ms. Hazel Arosado. Mr. Reese Lloyd Lasha, our IDS focal person. Mr. Antonio Figueroa, our historian and IDS consultant. Thank you very much. Mr. Antonio Peralta, for his unwavering support, the chairman of the ECCP Davao, Mr. Dirk Mais, the head of the Social Communication and Alumni Affairs, to his staff, Ms. Jimima Gumoko, Ms. Quizzy Daog-Daog, Ms. Gain Intong, Mr. Romel Tohiros, and Mr. Maki Okay. Mr. Kevin Bunutan, and special thanks also goes to Ms. Jeneline Ereterino, Mr. Gab Lasa, and Chef Raymond Miñosa for the food preparation later. Dr. Lolito Estrera and Ms. Rodicia Alcantara for their guidance and assistance with our students' performance, the BPED students. The General Services, ICT, and Learning Resource Center heads and staff for all the works that you have done. To our guest performers, the Kaliwat Performing Arts Collective, thank you so much for sharing your talents with us. And to our guests this morning, honorary consuls and partners, thank you for your presence this morning. I am proud and honored to inform everyone that Holy Cross of Davao College is preparing to launch another institute, and that's the Institute of Asian European Studies. Likewise, I am also proud to present and share with everyone that Holy Cross of Davao College just signed a memorandum of agreement with Lithuanian Maritime Academy, an Erasmus Plus member. So with our College of Maritime Education, Holy Cross will continue to soar high. And with that, I'm looking forward to seeing you all again and supporting our future activities. Thank you everyone for this great, beautiful morning. Hail Holy Cross and Madayao Davao.
Thank you so much, Dr. Teresa Fabiania, for your closing message and for being with us here today.
Before the program ends, may we request all our distinguished guests to please remain here for our photo opportunity, and afterwards, we will proceed for the campus tour with the Institute of Davao Studies Committee.
And that wraps up our launching program of the Institute of Davao Studies. We thank you everyone for being part of this wonderful occasion as we embark the Institute's journey.
We hope to see you on our future events, and please don't forget to like the Facebook page of the IDS, that is the Institute of Davao Studies, Holy Cross of Davao College, for more updates and future announcements.
Again, we are inviting you to join us as we embark this new journey of exploring, promoting, and preserving the rich history and culture of the Davaoenos. This is Maki Okay.
Have a great day, everyone, especially to those who are with us on site and to our attendees online via Zoom and Facebook Live. I am Jemima Kaboko. Stay safe, everyone, and God bless. And this has been ang Paglusad, the launching of the Institute of Davao Studies. Maayong buntag kaninyong tanan. At this very moment, we will have our photo opportunity here in front. So, starting off with the HCDC administrators.